Welcome back to another project analysis series. I'm Eric.
I'm Gina.
Today we're going to be talking about
Lentor Garden Residences.
Gina, this plot of land, I think there has a few problems with it.
We have coined it LG7, 7 for a reason.
Yeah, because it's the 7th plot of land in the entire, I would say, new township.
Yes,
right?
the Lentor Township.
So this is where Lentor Garden Residences come about. You know, this is the 7th plot of land. So by the time this plot of land is ready, you know that the entire town has about 4,000 plus units in total. That is just in a total number of units over there. So one of the main problems that we are actually talking about is actually the oversupply. For the next few videos, we will actually be talking about a lot of the problems that the project might be facing before we go into the project info. I think project info is something that cannot be changed, but something that we want to analyze is really the problems first and whether is there any solution to it.
Yep, it's always about what the issues are, right? Because people go in with a fear, like what if and what if and what if. So that's what we are going to address. The issues, the problems, the fears, and then you decide. And so you decide how well we have researched it and if you are ready to embrace a purchase.
Yep, all right. So of course, without further ado, this is where Lentor Garden comes around. And you do see a very beautiful artist impression over here with 3 different blocks as well as a shorter blocks over here. Now, this is based on what developers say. In Ang Mo Kio, they have the biggest water body in a residential condo. It
is huge though. And in Ang Mo Kio, you know, Ang Mo Kio hasn't got many condos. Yeah, so it is a really huge water body.
Yeah, so this is about 190 meters. We'll go through that a little bit in a while. So this is the topic that we'll be discussing today. So like what I mentioned, the first topic is definitely the oversupply. Okay, and of course, with so much of so much of supply over there right now, what is then the safe entry price? Because there's so many units over there you want to compare with. If imagine you want to buy and then you want to sell in the future, how do you want to exit? All right. So of course, with the project info and then followed by our layout analysis.
Yep.
All right. So if you are very confused after watching the video, please scan the QR code.
We'll be more than happy to address any other concerns you have.
All right. So the general information about this location, of course, it is in Lentor, which is the Thomson East Coast line, as you can see over on this side. And Lentor Garden sits over at this plot of land over here at Hillock Park. So with the 5 gold the little fingers, all right. So this is where the last part of the Hillock Park comes around alive, actually. Okay. Now the problem with oversupply. Okay, always people will ask, how do we exit when there's 4,000 over units, including the next plot of land that is coming up, which is Lentor Central, the 8th plot of land. But right now, what we know for sure is that there are already confirmed 8 plot of land. And then future plot of land, there are a few. So this is where we have our current plot of land over here and the next plot of land over on this side. Just within this vicinity itself, excluding Lentor Central, you are already looking at 3,400 plus units available in the market.
Plus the 8th plot, we are looking at 4,000.
Yes. So the question is, how will you exit? So this is where we come into the policy changes that government has done a few years back.
Yes, so we now know that there's this thing called the SSD or the seller stamp duty, right? Just recently, last year, it's been changed from 3 years to 4 years.
Correct.
Right, but how many of you know that it was actually a 1 year to begin with?
Oh yes.
And then it went from a 4 years, went down to a 3 years, and then back to the 4 years. Okay, so basically 2010 is when it started. It's only 1 year. It's really to deter people from flipping properties.
One of the main reasons it was because after the Lehman Brothers property crisis, right? A lot of people getting houses and trying to flip them the next day and things like that. So I think this is where the government really introduced seller stamp duty to deter a lot of people from flipping, which also reduces the amount of speculators in the market.
Correct. So from 2011 to 2017, it was at 4 years. And then 2017, it relaxed back down to 3 years because, you know, market's a bit stagnant.
A bit slower.
The government's trying to trigger it, you know.
Correct.
So it went back down to 3 years and then everybody started buying in. And so we have in July 2025, just last year, it's gone back to 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay? And how does this policy changes helps us?
Why are we talking about these policy changes, especially in Lentor? Because when we look at it now, I will show you the entire seller stamp duty for the entire Lentor area. This is where you can see on the right, this is the first project that has launched in Lentor, which is Lentor Modern. And in ascending order, this is where you see the different SSD period as well as the total number of units. So when we hear about 4,000 units in Lentor, I'm sure a lot of people will be like, wow, that's too much units. I don't want to compete with the rest, especially if I'm an investor. But now, when we look deeper into the seller stamp duty period, you realize that the bulk of the project, okay, the SSD actually, the latest, it ends around Q2 2028. and Lentor Garden being the first project that is experiencing the 4 years SSD.
Yep.
So we do have a gap over here of about 2 years.
2 years.
All right, a gap of 2 years. So if you are an investor today for these other projects, am I right to say that you will likely sell within that period of time over here, just before 2030?
I would think they once it TOPs or one it SSDs, right? And remember, all these have got 3 years SSD.
Correct.
Like Lentor Modern, it's already SSD and TOP already,
Correct.
all ready to sell. So usually, as an investor, you want to cash out as soon as possible when the market is good, right? So you would see that within 2 years, most of them would have already sold the unit if they are investors, or unless they're holding on to rent and then later part they decide to sell. So usually in the first 2 years, they would have done. And if we look at the Q2 of 2028 being Lentor Central, plus 2 years, we're looking at 2030, which
Correct.
is about the time of Lentor Gardens SSD expiry.
I think for those who are confused, this SSD period, we are counting from the day of launch because most of the buyers actually bought from launch day itself.
Yep.
Okay, so out of the 4,000 units, or rather 3,004 currently that we know of, actually we minus about 1,000. The rest of it is affected by the 3 years.
years.
So they are more or less competing with each other. And then for Lentor Gardens itself, this is where we don't really see much competition thereafter.
Well, I would say that even if there are units left, right, from the first 6 plots, what happens is usually it's sellers who are pricing it very high.
Oh, yes.
Therefore, they can't sell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like they price it high, that's fine. It's good for Lentor Gardens or the subsequent ones. Why? Because when they price it high, whoever is coming into the market after their 4 years SSD can also tag along with that pricing.
Yeah.
You ride along with it. So you sort of, they help you to push up the overall prices of the area. Right, so as Eric has mentioned earlier, Lentor Gardens will be looking at about 1,000 plus units, inclusive of the next plot that's coming up, right? So if let's say we add 1,000 plus the other 2 plots, say about 2,000 in total, can we call that as a second batch cluster?
Actually,
right?
yeah, because there's a break in between.
Yeah, so that sort of break in between, we call it a Lentor batch 2 cluster.
Phase 2.
Phase 2,
Yeah.
right? Phase 2 cluster. So out of this 2,000, for example, right? Guess what? Lentor Gardens will be the first to exit.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Right? The first to exit. And then who can we take example from? We can look at Lentor Modern. Lentor Modern being the first plot in the whole entire area, they have already started selling, exiting because SSD is up, already TOP.
Yeah.
Right? And being the first movers in the market, they are making good profit before all the other competitors turn up into the market.
Oh, that's right. That sounds about right.
So it looks like Lentor Gardens can be the next Lentor Modern.
Oh, for sure, because of that break itself. That
Because of the break. So they are sort of like phase 2 of Lentor, of the Lentor condos.
Yeah.
With that, we are looking at Lentor Gardens being the first to exit from the newer cluster with the 4 years SSD, and yet, they are at the old land price.
So the land price is something that we will go through later on and you will take a look. So now when we talk about price itself, this is something that within Lentor, because they have first phase, second phase, first half, second half, we want to decide.
We just coined the phase 1 and phase 2.
I mean, like, we want to understand what is the safe entry price. And also when we talk about the land prices itself, this is something that we want to understand because we also know of the transacted price, the highest transacted price in the entire region itself. Some of it harmonized.
Some of it
not harmonized.
Yes.
With that being said, a plot of land will be your next direct competitor because it being the second half with the other plot of land. Now, when we look at this page over here, this is where we have the land bid.
Yes.
The land bid price by the developers and what Lentor Garden has got it at. So we take a look, Lentor Modern being a mixed development with MRT 1002. Now their transactor is about 1008 to 2005 and so on and so forth. But Lentor Garden today, it is the lowest land bid over here across
920.
Yes, 920 across all different plot of land. It is your cheapest yet as of right now. It is the newest.
Yes.
But there is also a newer land bid that it is way higher.
1,278, which is pretty close to Lentor Modern.
Even higher than Lentor Modern actually.
And Lentor Modern being a mixed D.
Now, I think when we look at this area itself, it is very interesting to see on this trend. You have a lower price of 1,008 per square feet all the way to 2,005 for the first plot of land. But when we go back to the next plot of land itself, when they sell Lentor Hill, it is around the same price as well. The only main difference that you will really see I would say in Lentor, you have an opportunity to go back to the old land price.
It sort of keep resetting the
sale
entry
price. Yeah, the entry price
sort
itself.
of keep resetting the entry price at each development.
Correct.
Which is a very interesting phenomena.
Yeah.
And we only see this in Lentor.
Usually you see the newer project gets more expensive. Okay, but this time around, the newer one, you get back the same price.
Yeah.
So, for example, like you today, you went to try Lentor Modern back then, you didn't have a chance to get a unit, you can try Lentor Hill. Cannot, Hillock Green. So, the cycle continue, but when will this end? Of course, this will soon come to an end very soon. Okay, because here onwards, this 4 is already harmonization.
Yep.
Anything before is pre-harmonized. Okay, so within the Lentor region, we also see the highest PSF to be 2006. Now the question is, will the developer of our Lentor Garden, okay, with a low land bid, sell you at a low price? So
why should I?
Yeah, I mean,
if I'm the developer, I'll be asking you why should I?
Yeah, I mean, developer has no incentive to sell you cheaper unless they feel that the market is really slow.
Yep.
They have a very big fear of people not buying. Then this is where the price will be competitive. Yep. So at this point of this video, developer has already announced their indicative price of 2050 per square feet. Average per square feet. Very nice. Slightly higher, but it's still good in today's market. Average price of about 2350 per square feet. Suddenly you see the disparity.
Most agents will tell you, buy law, cheap one.
Cheap ma, low land price ma.
Low land price, cannot be any lower than this.
This is where we will dive in a little bit deeper on the developer pricing strategy later on. And we understand 920 doesn't mean they sell you cheaper.
Okay, but we have examples with Jadescape and Affinity that shows it not to be the case.
Correct.
All right. So what we want to show you here is that land price is not the most important.
Instead,
it is the developer's pricing strategy, how they want to price their project. Okay.
So over here we can see that for Affinity itself, they did bought the land at a high. However, they launched the land at a low. So what I mean by that, high land price is about 835 per square feet per plot ratio for back then, and then they sold at 1003 per square feet for their lowest unit. Now, when we look at Jadescape itself, they bought the land even lower at 747 per square feet. But then they launched their unit close to 1005 per square feet.
Yeah.
So with this example being said, right, of course, low land bid doesn't mean developer will sell you cheap.
Yes.
It just means that they have more buffer to play with.
Correct.
But I would say that if they buy the land more expensive, that developer has lesser buffer to sell you cheap. So of course, when we look back into Affinity itself, they sold it at 1,003 plus per square feet, and do take note over here of the break-even price. It is
expected break-even.
They're selling it almost at break-even price. Okay, but whenever we look at Jadescape as a comparison itself, the break-even, because of the lower land price, is about 1,000. They sell it at 1,005. So there's like a $500 per square feet profit for them already.
Yeah, so from here, we are trying to show you that with just a low land price, right, we cannot be certain that the developer will also sell you an entry price at a lower rate.
Yeah.
Okay, it really depends on the developer strategies, how they want to strategize their sale of their homes. Actually, it's their own house, right?
Correct.
In that sense, yeah.
So with that being said, of course, different developer really have different pattern. They are quite standard with their pattern, because the people who does the pricing usually stays the same unless they have some sort of changes with that, right?
Yes.
So
let's look at the different developers, right? We know of some whom, let's say from launch till the last unit sold,
they don't even increase price.
the price stays the same
from
day one, right? And then there are those who increase maybe once or twice throughout the whole entire tenure of them selling.
Correct.
So for such developers, even if you buy the later part, it is still okay. You're still
the disparity is not
much,
high.
Yeah, you're pretty much buying at day one price, but at a later date.
Correct.
Right? Of course, just your problem with SSD being delayed,
Correct.
Right? But with such developers, not a problem.
For developers that increase price over the months, over the years, when they are trying to sell the entire project itself, this is what we call the developer stage up pricing. They help you to secure the earlier buyers to have profit.
But yet there are those who will start with low entry prices and then go up every maybe 2 hours.
Oh yes.
or 3 hours, and they increase the price very frequently, and it's not just throughout the whole tenure, but on the launch day itself.
With Lentor Garden itself being Kingsford is the developer, we want to understand how does Kingsford price their property from one Marina Garden to back then even Chuan Park itself. Projects that increase prices by the hour. Okay. This is where we will show you the example of Chuan Park.
Yes.
All right. Developer back then, on launch day itself, they increased price by the hour. Of course, a lot of buyers were making noise. But on hindsight itself, a lot of the earlier buyers
they make.
They make
By
profit.
the end of the day.
By the end of the day, they already know that they make a profit because the developer already increased the prices for the overall project itself.
Yes.
So this is something that when we look at Kingsford project, you want to be at the front as much as possible. Want to take advantage of, as buy in as early as possible because this has not only happened once, but has happened multiple times.
Yep.
Kingsford, they are known to give you very good attractive prices, but it's probably that 1 or 2 units only. They are per floor jump. It is not the standard developer 0.3, 0.5 per floor jump. Developers for Kingsford, they really like to do it a very cheap per floor jump over here. This is where you see all the highlighted in blue are the ones that buy first. Okay, this is the first group of buyers that buy because of the low per floor jump. It makes a lot of sense for buyers to buy the upper floor.
Yep. Imagine each floor a difference of 4,000 only.
And it's, I think,
4,200.
Yeah. So based on Chuan Park itself,
That's
this
almost like HDB kind of per floor
HDB
jump.
per floor jump for a private property.
Yeah.
So this is where you will see a lot of people buy the top floor first, and then subsequently you see the per floor jump actually increase, okay, over time. The highlighted ones in yellow are the ones that bought after the launch day. And just because they bought after the launch day itself, you can see a disparity of about 70,000, 50,000, even 187,000 on the same stack itself.
Yes.
Okay, now this is just one example from Kingsford itself based on their launch day. Now we want to take a look at the next one because Chuan Park at this point of time has still units available.
Yes.
If you choose not to buy during launch day, what will happen to that stack itself?
Yep. So let's say today we have 0515.
Yes.
It is selling for 3320.
3.32 million.
2 million.
Okay, for a 3-bedroom.
So if someone who bought on the launch day itself at what we call phase 1,
Yep.
you see number 1 there, they paid 3,345,232.
Very good, same stack, same price. But it's on the 21st floor.
Not exactly the same price. There's a price difference of 25,000.
About 25,000.
But 21st floor versus a 5th floor. So that makes what? 16 floor difference. 16 floor difference, I pay, let's say I bought at phase 1. I pay 25,000 more, which is 1,005, let's round it, 1,006 per floor jump. Like, wow.
So
right?
this is where you really see buyers that buy into the first phase, it is better, especially for Kingsford project, because they are known to increase price no matter what.
Right, let's look at a closer transaction. In February 2026, someone bought 12 floor, same stack, we're always talking about same stack here, 12 floor for 3.309 mil, right? Versus today's 5th floor, this person bought at 10,800 cheaper.
Then the 5th floor.
Then the 5th floor, never mind. 7 floors higher.
Yeah. So this is where you really can see Kingsford, their pricing strategy along the way. They sure increase price until the high floor makes a lot of sense.
Correct, and which is also why we have seen people buying the higher floors.
Correct.
For Kingsford's project.
It's a downward trend in a way whereby they buy the top floor first, then they'll slowly left the lower floor.
Correct.
Okay.
Most other projects you sort of like buy from the lower level up.
Correct.
For Kingsford's, people will buy from higher
Correct.
levels down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the pricing strategy that you want to understand from the developers itself. Now, let us show you another example of this happening. So, which is one of the more recent project, One Marina Gardens. First phase itself, we are talking about a 3-bedroom again, and this time we are talking about stack 24 on a 20th floor. April of 2025, someone bought this unit at 3.058 million. Now, and then today, which is what we consider the phase 3, right? Someone, they are actually listing the price of 0924, 9th floor, at about
3.08 mil.
3.08 mil, and this is a disparity of about 11 floor. Now, then we want to look at the phase 2 itself also. 4th of May, 18th floor, they bought for 3082. Now, today, phase 3, half your neighbor, the floor, 9th floor, almost the same price. Almost.
Yes, you pay 3,000 more, 2,007 more.
Yeah, and you get double the level just because you bought in earlier.
Correct.
So, not all stacks you will really see the same price increase, of course. Some more than others. It really depends on the unit type as well. But what we want to see from here is really the trend that we are seeing from the same developer itself. Now, then we move over to another example. Another stack itself. Okay.
So for here, phase 3, which is now, that is 0617, available for 3.727 mil. Let's go back one phase, say 0717. They bought at 3.691 mil. So they bought essentially 35,000 cheaper. 1 floor higher.
And only 2 months.
2 months ago.
Because this is in May.
Yeah. So only 2 months ago, somebody bought 1 floor higher than you, because if you're going in for 0617 now, and they bought cheaper than you.
The owner, the buyer of 2817 over here, they bought the unit at 3.588 million. Now we do a comparison with today's price, 6th floor. 6th floor, 3.727. Okay, this is 138,000 cheaper. And you get way higher floor.
22 floors higher.
Yeah. So this really, I would say when we do the comparison, the example just keep popping up when we do our analysis itself. So same thing.
Same thing with this
33
spec itself. Yeah. So we have seen 3317 selling at 3.631 mil. And today, let's say we go 0217 because that's the cheapest around now. 3.621 mil.
$11,000 difference. You get about 28 story higher.
I don't know how to count also.
So
no, 31. 33 minus 2, 31. 31 levels higher.
11,000
and you
more.
pay only 11,000 more. Wow.
Yeah. So this is something that we have
right.
realized.
So it's always, on hindsight, I should have done this. On hindsight, I should have done this. But this is some of the research that we have done to show you Kingsford's behavior. They have a tendency to launch low and increase price, even during the launch day or over the period of their sale tenure.
Correct.
All right. So high chance you can see this pricing since this Lentor Gardens developer is Kingsford.
Yep.
And since also Kingsford already knew of Lentor Central's land price. The plot 8's land price, right? So high chance we can see this pricing strategy from them.
So I think at the end of the day, when we look at Kingsford project, if you are really, really keen on their project itself, you should buy at the first initial phase based on what that we have just shared earlier.
I think even before that, you need to really pray for a very good queue number.
Oh yes.
Yep. If not, find families, members, and then do bulk
Each by
purchase.
one,
Each by one do bulk purchase because bulk purchase gives you the priority to go in for a purchase first. But if nobody else is buying with you, no family is buying with you, pray for a good queue number.
Yeah. I think in summary itself, for this particular Lentor Garden, it is the first plot, also the second half of Lentor, and the first plot
the 4 years
with the 4 years SSD itself.
So called the first plot of what we coin the second phase of Lentor.
Correct. Right? So this is where we have a few buffer in that sense. First, to 4 year SSD. Secondly, is the land is bought at a lower
Lowest
land price. The developer has much more buffer. Now, then of course you want to understand the
8th plot.
Yeah, correct. The 8th plot itself, they bought about 39% higher than Lentor Garden itself. Meaning to say that particular plot of land, the developer Guaco, they can't sell you cheap because they are
how much cheaper?
Even
if they are willing to do it, like how much lower can they go?
Correct.
Right? So there is a price protection in that sense there.
Yes.
And with what we have shown you of Kingsford's pricing strategy, their behavior is to gradually increase price.
Yeah. Then this is where even at 2001, 2002, this is where we are looking at going back into the old pricing itself already. Because don't forget, now 2001, 2002 per square feet is at a harmonized price.
Yes.
Okay. And resale prices for Lentor Modern right now is about already at 2.5.
Yes, 2.4, 2.5.
And today, if you are able to enter Lentor Garden, even at 2004, $100 per square feet difference, I think this is something really
very safe.
Yeah, it's something worth considering. And I have to also highlight that Lentoria over here, just right the neighbor, the highest per square feet is already at 2.6.
2.6. Yeah.
And that is a new sale. Not even sub-sale.
Not even a sub-sale, not even sub-sale. Which then means if I am Lentor Gardens and Lentor Central or the upcoming developers, I know what price the buyers have already accepted.
Correct. The project info itself. So as we mentioned earlier, the developer itself is Kingsford. They really, really love water. So at the start of the video, we have mentioned the
largest water body
in Ang Mo Kio residential itself. This is where we have end-to-end about 190 to close to 200 meters of swimming pool.
That's very long.
That is very, very long. Yes. Based on what I found out, it's even longer than MBS. Infinity Pool is about 150 meters. So this is where you'll see a very nice site plan. Interesting thing about this is we have strata landed. We have 3 strata landed as well and 3 commercial shops right over on this area itself. This is where the 3 strata landed comes in. Towards this, it is the north. We do have unblocked facing towards the west. Okay, you want to get a good facing, you have the good sun. All right, another one is towards the Hillock Park area. For the next site plan itself, I've already placed all the different land to show you how would the facing be for some of the units over here. So for example, over here, this is where we are viewing our neighbors Lentor Central. But you are still getting some buffer because of their pool as well as the green finger
The
from
green.
the Hillock Park. So towards the west itself, this is where we have the unblocked facing, landed facing towards the teacher's estate. In terms of the total number of units, 499. So as mentioned earlier, we have 3 shops, 3 strata landed. So of course, if you are keen on the strata landed, later we will share with you in terms of the layout and are you eligible to buy. Vacant possession is about 2030. So earlier, maybe the early 2030, you are expected to have collected your keys. So in terms of the land size itself, we are looking at about 200,000 square feet of land in Lentor Garden. I would say it's
Quite a
one
good
of
size.
the good size and it's one of the bigger one over here. Now, in terms of the unit mix, 50% of them is the 2 bedroom, 27.8% 3 bedroom, 21 4 bedroom, and the strata landed just 0.6, cost only 3 units. If you are still confused, you want to know more, even more in-depth than a video, feel free to scan and contact any one of us. Let's kickstart the layout analysis, which is the 2-bedder. Gina.
In Lentor Gardens, when I first saw the floor plan, I'm like, wow, headache, why so many different plans? You know, I'm so used to simplified plans. So to make it easy, all the 2-bedders here, with the exception of the one that you see on the screen now, all the other 2-bedders are 2 bed, 2 bath, has got no windows, enclosable squarish kitchen, except for this 646, it has got a galley kitchen.
Yeah, over on this side.
But it still has a 2 bed, 2 bath, just no enclosable kitchen.
Correct.
Okay, so this will be the smallest.
Quite standard in terms of a 2-bedroom dumbbell layout.
If your pricing range is only about there, then you get that. The other thing I actually like about this is it's facing the Hillock Park.
So
It's park facing.
you have that park facing, and of course,
Serenity.
correct, it's peaceful. You have a very good distance to your other neighbors, other projects. This is something that you can consider.
Let's go into the bigger 2 bedrooms. In Lentor area, I think one of the things we're looking at is we focus on own-stay buyers.
A lot of home stay buyers
So
actually.
a lot of own-stay buyers looking to buy in when you have that, what you want is you want tucked away kitchens that it's potentially enclosable.
Functional.
So with 6, 7, 8, we have tucked away kitchen. The dining table is not hanging. I don't like dining tables sort of like
Out of nowhere.
just plug there. It sort of has got its kaosan in that way.
Yeah.
It's got a walls there. Okay, it has got our study. It's not a study room. It's not a tuck away one, but it's just an our study.
I think the good thing about this particular few layouts that we are going through is because they are 2 bed, 2 bath, but they have a study area.
Yes.
Only the 646 earlier that we mentioned do
Don't
not
have that. Right. So with 6, 7, 8, there are 3 different layouts here at different locations.
Basically all pool facing or the landed facing. So I think main difference between these 3 layouts is really the placement of the study.
6, 8, 9. This layout is interesting. It's a 2 bed with a storeroom.
I basically take away the
rare.
study
Yes.
and I plonk in
A storeroom.
a proper store itself.
I mean, if you look at the study earlier, it's along the aisle. Do you really do work there? I'm not sure.
I don't think it's fully functional.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't. I would convert it into something else, and
Correct.
we can talk about that later. A 2 bed with a storeroom, it's pretty rare in the Lentor area,
Yeah.
I have to say. It makes this layout stand out
A lot
in this
more.
area. Okay, with this layout, 6, 8, 9 versus the previous one, which is 6, 7, 8, right? We're looking at only an 11 square feet difference.
So
right?
if by 2,004 per square feet, the differences itself, you are actually paying 26,000 for a home shelter. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Because you have a proper room,
to
shelter.
store all the clutter away.
Correct.
And even if you die want to study, this would have been a better study anyway. In that sense, we will go for this. We would suggest
Correct.
that you consider this layout. There isn't many units of this. It's only 30 units.
Only 2 stacks.
And they're both facing Lentor Central. As Eric mentioned earlier, you are seeing Lentor Central's pool view.
Yep.
So you sort of borrow people's pool view.
You also have pool view, just not your own pool.
And on top of that, there is a distance because there's a walkway for the Lentor Park.
Moving towards the 732. So 732 is actually the premium plus study, which is the biggest 2-bedroom that we have. The main difference over here is
There is a tuck-away study. Now you have no storeroom.
Yes.
So maybe your study can become a storeroom.
yeah. If you are a buyer that is considering for 2-bedroom, you definitely want to consider 732 or 689. But when we think about wanting a bigger 2-bedroom, so we think about 732.
732.
And then we revert back 689. The difference is 43,000 square feet. And what is the difference?
I
You
pay
are,
100K for a study.
you are
right?
swapping away the home shelter to get
For a study.
a longer study. Is that worth it? So that's something you want to consider. Yeah, but in our opinion, our humble opinion, I would say the sweet spot is really the 689 square feet.
Correct.
If you are able to get. All right.
The other thing with 732 is it is the same size as Lentor Moderns. And if you know where Lentor Moderns 2 bed, 2 bath are facing, beautiful view. It's facing landed, Yishun Dam, and the water bodies.
Right.
Right? So you actually have a much more beautiful facing.
Will it be blocked?
Eh?
Okay.
Landed.
So for 732, if you want the good facing, there's only S3 that is the good facing one towards the landed area.
You get a west sun as well with it. With 732, there are more layouts.
Yeah, so there are total about
layouts.
6 different layouts just for 732, same size. The main difference is really in terms of their facing,
Yep.
in terms of where their study is at,
Yes.
DB box. All right, so if you want to know more, you just pause the video.
And the last one with a hanging dining.
Yeah, this dining is something that Gina
Don't like.
So if you want to really analyze the layout itself, you can pause the video or you can just contact any one of us.
So you know our choice for 2-bed. It is quite obvious, I think, by the way we are describing the layouts as we go. It will be this 689 unit, 30 units only. If it is sold out by the time your queue number, it's like for you to book. I give you a suggestion. The next suggestion is to go for a 678. Why? You want a home shelter. 678 has got study along the aisle. Instead of using it as a study, build up cabinets through the whole concave area.
Yeah.
So when you build up cabinets, you have floor to ceiling space for you to do storage, and that becomes
A small home shelter, I would
a
say.
small home shelter. Well, yes and no,
Better than
because you know what, with home shelter you need walking space inside
Oh, yes.
to retrieve your things. Here the walking space is already built in
Kind
the
of built in
aisle.
for you.
Already built in the aisle. So if you don't have 689 left, go for 678, and with 678 our choice will be
P2.
P2. For reasons being, the door opens nicely. You don't have the door open and half the DB box is cutting your door.
Correct. And you don't really have that much wasted space as compared to P4 over
P4.
here. You have this wasted space on this side.
Preference would be P2 if you have to go for 678.
Alright, so for the 3-bedroom itself, we have a total of 8 different layouts. The smallest being 872, followed by the 936. I think this is where we have our compact. All you need, all you have. Okay,
Yes.
because 872, we also have windows in the kitchen as well as
bad.
the bathroom.
Yes.
But we do have a hanging dining. So this is where the 872 comes in. Of course, in terms of facing, we only got one stack. 872, we are facing the pool itself, also the landed facing. 936, add on another study over in the walkway area. Windows in all areas. I
Yes.
think this is something
Yes.
that a lot of
And the
buyers...
study has window.
Oh, and the window is quite big as well. Over
Oh,
on
and
this
we
side.
forgot to say just now when we talked about the 2 beds, the study room. The study room has got no windows.
Oh yes, it's just a wall.
And which is also why we were referring to Lentor Modern. Lentor Modern study has windows.
Yeah.
Toilet has windows. Okay, now let's get back to the 3.
Yeah, so 936, we feel that it is the sweet spot of
Yep.
the entire 3-bedroom.
Yes, and with the study, right, it's flexible.
Yes.
I mean, if you want it as a storeroom, it is a storeroom. If
Correct.
not, there is a wall that you can hack.
Yes, over on this side, you can hack it. You can make it to a, I would say, extension of your house, living room, whatsoever.
Yes, so with the window, there's a lot of flexibility that you can do for it.
And why do we say that it is really the sweet spot? Because the next size, it is 969, but 969, it is towards the shorter block over here. Block.
It's smack in the middle. There is no windows.
Correct. There is no window in the kitchen as well as the bathroom.
Yep.
But I would say one thing, this layout is very, very functional.
Yes.
No wasted space because it is dumbbell.
layout.
Okay.
So there's less of that aisle space that is wasted.
Correct. And you also have your study.
You have the dry and wet kitchen.
Yep,
You have
dry.
a home shelter. It's very functional. You have everything that a 3-bed needs.
Yes, correct.
We also want to show you the potential of building another ensuite.
P1. So over here, this is where, because of the location where
Of
the
the
study
study.
is, you basically can build a wall over here with another door. This entire bedroom with the bathroom can be your ensuite.
If you want to rent out just one part of the house and then you stay in the other, that's pretty good.
Then the biggest size will be 1001. It is something that you will see in the show flat, and I think it's really, really beautiful. The main thing is we want to take note of the different stacks and the different foyer
Entrance
area.
foyer.
Yeah, see the foyer area, some are slightly longer, some slightly shorter. All you need, all you have. Home shelter you have, dry kitchen you have, window you also have.
Yes.
Okay?
Classic layout.
Yeah.
Our exception is for the home shelter here, it's from the kitchen.
Correct.
Previously, home shelter is from the aisle.
Aisle, yes, correct. So what Gina is referring, 969 is coming from the aisle. Now then 1001 is coming in from the kitchen itself. Then we come to the biggest 3-bedroom that we have is 1012 square feet. Basically 1 square meter difference. Main difference, foyer.
Foyer.
Everything else, the same. The sweet spot in our opinion is really the 936.
Yep.
Okay. 936 comparing with the bigger one, you just basically do not have the dry kitchen, do not
Yes.
have a home shelter, but you do have a study.
Yep.
Everything
a very
you need.
flexible study instead
Correct.
of a home shelter that you cannot do anything
Correct.
else about it.
Yep.
Okay, and you have all the necessary windows. Your other option will be 1001, and we are looking at potentially P6.
It is where you get the park facing,
Yep.
even the
Or the
pool
pool
facing.
facing.
You have 2 choices. Moving on towards the 4
beds.
bed. The most compact 4 bed that you are actually able to find is the 1184. But I have to point out that despite it being the same size, this 21184 has different, I would say, elements to it. Okay, one of the main reasons why I say that it's the home shelter that's number one, and the living area. The width of the living room itself, despite it being the same size, these two has different length itself. Maybe it might be minor to some people, but this is the smaller details that we've seen. This is about 3.2 and this is 3.3, slightly wider. 4-bedroom itself, one of the bedroom, it is bigger than the other. So on the C1 over here, this is where you see 9.2 square meter.
Yes.
And the other one we have
8.3
square meters in terms of the bedroom itself.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons why you do see that disparity is because 拉长不短.
The entrance foyer.
The entrance foyer here is bigger. This is smaller. Basically,
no entrance foyer. You walk into the house immediately.
So the space that we think, it compensated, it went towards the bedroom.
So with the 4 beds, with 1184, it's a L-shaped walk-in wardrobe, sort of squarish. With the home shelter, right? Honestly, I like it landscape. It feels like you can store more things versus a portrait ones.
So this is just a compact 4-bedder. Now, then we move on to the next
premium.
two sizes itself, which is the premium, which is 1346 as well as 1356. I think this layout itself is really, really nice. Okay, because we do have about 5.5 meters in terms of the living room space.
It feels
itself.
better in a landscape format. It feels broader.
Yes.
The frontage feels better.
For this particular 4-bedroom, they are all garden facing, which is the hillock part over on this
facing.
side. The main differences is of course in the foyer.
Again.
But when we go into the master, this is where you see the main difference between the compact and the premium. You do see a walk-in wardrobe which is on both sides instead of the L that we saw earlier. Our top choice is actually 1184 towards the C2 side. It is same as the others, not much difference. And when we look at, do we want to consider the 1356, 1346? To me, is that two layouts looks nice, but it doesn't really stand out.
Yes, it doesn't stand out in the Lentor area.
Correct, especially
but yet it is a 172 square feet difference.
Yeah, then that is significant
in the price.
In the price itself when we talk about it. So price is really, really very different. If you are looking out, it really depends on what is the price range that you are looking at and what's your objective, whether is it own stay or you want to invest.
I mean, with own stay, go for something that you're comfortable with and you really like.
Correct.
All right. And also when it's your turn to book, again, it goes back to your queue number. When it's your turn to book, if a premium unit, the 1.3 plus unit, it's maybe about 20k, 50k
difference
than the 1184, than the compact one. Then go for the bigger one.
Correct.
Right? So it really depends. You have to be very, very diligent in checking prices on the booking day. Okay? So that you make a best decision from that.
All right.
Right, 5-bed. We don't have a 5-bed,
but we do have a terrace.
Yes.
So of course, when you talk about this terrace, this is something that we don't really see in the market anymore.
Very rare.
If you are watching this, if you are a viewer, I mean, today you got to be at least a PR to buy this strata landed.
Yes, gone were the days where a foreigner can buy strata landed.
And PR, you gotta have LDAU approval as well. Okay, so this is something you want to take note of. Of course, Singaporeans feel free to buy. And now let me go through with you the floor plan itself. To be honest,
only 3 units.
3 same size, more or less the same.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, when we come to the strata landed, this is where on the left you see the first floor. Coming in from your balcony itself, this is where you're living, your dining, dry kitchen, followed by your wet kitchen on this side, with 1 bedroom with a common bathroom on the first floor. Okay. Now heading in onto the second floor, this is where you come up from the stairs. You have a very big master bedroom over here, a common bedroom, and the other 2 bedrooms over on this side with a bathroom over on this side.
For people who don't need 5 bedrooms, you can modify, you can hack the wall between master and the other common room for even bigger master room. So there are people who like huge master rooms, okay? So there is a possibility for you to do that.
Actually, you can just put a door here and then this entire room becomes 1 big bedroom in itself. You have the flexibility to do it and your room will be almost like 31 square meter. Huge. So this is how it comprises of your 5-bedroom for 1496 square feet. When we look at this strata landed itself, with it being a rare commodity in today's market, right?
Very rare.
We foresee the 3 units to be sold on launch day. Okay, so same, but just different.
Just a different unit number.
Yep, correct.
A different address.
It's the same.
And same again.
Same again. All right. If you watch this video still confused, still lost, still a bit blur, you can feel free to look for any one of us.
Yep, I'm Gina.
And I'm Eric. So we'll see you in the next one.
In the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.